Welcome to the An English Coffee Office. Today is Tuesday, May 6th. And like every morning, David and Alex are at the coffee machine.
Hey Alex, already on cup number 2?
You know it. Tuesdays don't wait for anyone. How's the morning treating you?
Same old chaos. Check the news while the machine did its thing. Did you see the latest about the protests in Argentina?
Yeah. I saw something about that. Massive demonstrations, right? Something to do with the government's new economic reforms?
Exactly. President Milei slashing public spending left and right. They're calling it shock therapy economics. Tons of layoffs, especially in state-owned companies.
That's brutal. It makes sense from a fiscal standpoint, but man, the human cost.
Totally. From a business angle, though, I kind of get where he's coming from. Argentina's inflation has been off the charts. You either rip off the Band-Aid or let the wound fester, you know?
True. But the scale of the protests, they shut down half of Buenos Aires. That's not just public pushback. It's a full-blown social crisis. How do you maintain productivity or investment confidence in that kind of climate?
Exactly. I've got a client down there, and he said they're basically frozen. No hiring, no spending, just waiting to see where the chips fall.
It's a high-risk, high-reward kind of move. But it's reminding everyone how fragile economic reform is when it doesn't include a strong safety net.
Right? Makes our budget meetings feel like a cakewalk in comparison.
No kidding. At least when we tighten belts, no one's marching in the streets.
Yet,
Don't jinx it.
fair. Anyway, switching gears, have you checked out what Apple just announced?
The AI integrated iOS update? Yeah. They're finally rolling out their own version of generative AI, right?
Yep. It's called the Apple Intelligence. Because of course it is. Supposed to offer personalized task assistance across devices. They even partnered with OpenAI to integrate ChatGPTs into Siri.
Wow. That's a big step for Apple. They've always been a bit more closed off about AI stuff.
Exactly. And now they're diving in full force. From what I saw, the assistant can write emails, summarize, docs, even plan your day.
Honestly, I'm surprised it took them this long. Microsoft and Google have been ahead of the curve for a while.
True, but Apple's whole thing is user experience. If they get it right, it'll raise the bar for everyone.
Do you think it's going to actually help productivity? Or just another layer of tech to manage?
Bit of both, I think. I mean, if Siri finally understands what I'm saying the first time around, that alone is a win.
Valid point. I've lost count of how many times I've yelled, set a reminder only to have her say, calling Amanda.
Right? And from a project standpoint, this could be big. If the AI can pull updates from different tools and send recaps automatically, game changer.
Assuming it works reliably, I've been burned before by the smart assistant hype.
Totally. Half the time you end up doing double the work checking what it did, but still the potential's huge. Especially if it can help cut through meeting overload.
Please? If it can tell me which meetings are actually worth joining, I'll name my next kid after it.
Apple Intelligence Johnson has a nice ring to it.
We'll put it on the company baby gift list.
Speaking of names and trends, have you seen what's happening with the Met Gala this year?
Oh yes, the Garden of Time theme? It was like fashion meets fantasy novel. Some of those outfits were wild.
Tell me about it. I saw Zendaya's dress. It looked like she walked straight out of an enchanted forest. Unreal.
She never misses, but did you catch Tyla's look? She wore this sand dress that literally disintegrated as she walked.
Yeah, and she had to be carried up the stairs because she couldn't move in it. I mean, fashion is art, sure, but that's commitment.
It's performance, really. But it also says a lot about where culture's at right now. Escapism, nostalgia, environmental symbolism, all packed into one night.
That's true. The whole Garden of Time thing felt like a nod to how fast everything's moving and how much we want to slow it down.
Exactly. And I think it resonates because everyone's feeling this time compression, like the years blur together lately.
For real? I was talking to someone last week who thought 2020 was last year. I didn't have the heart to correct them.
Honestly, same. And the Met Gala's kind of the perfect place to reflect that mix of beauty and anxiety. Like, we want glam, but we also want meaning.
Totally. And the fact that people are still talking about it days later, that says something. It cuts through the noise.
More than most things do lately. It's one of the few cultural moments that still brings people together, even if it's just to argue about who nailed the theme.
I mean, that's half the fun. Fashion Twitter was on fire.
It always is. But hey, I appreciate the creativity. Makes spreadsheets feel a bit dull in comparison.
Speak for yourself. My Q2 report has some serious flair.
Color-coded tabs don't count?
They do in sales.
No.
Anyway, I should probably get back before my inbox stages a revolt.
Yeah, same here. Catch you at the same time tomorrow?
You know it. Same caffeine channel, same caffeine time.
All right, back to the inbox. Later, Alex.
Time to get to work. Practice your English every day and you'll see how it just keeps getting better and better. See you tomorrow. I hope you have a great day.